Hello, ISLR fans. Welcome back to week two. This week we are playing against Gav and the Utah Weez. It's a very exciting match. Gav's the one who revived the ISL after all these years. I've played against him quite a few times in the past, so I'm really looking forward to playing against him again. This match is also very exciting because this is season three of the ISLR, and he won season one, and I won season two. So it's the battle of the champions. Uh, we'll see how it goes. Gav's got a really strong team. I think it could go either way. So you may have noticed right here, I made a couple of changes to my draft since our week one game. I really wanted to use Terra Meloetta, so I just decided to add it to the team. I dropped our Alolan Golem and the Audino, because I mean I'm just playing full out offense here, I guess. And I also gave up Decidueye's Terra Captain status so that Meloetta could be a Terra Captain. Additionally, I also changed one of Kyurem's Terra Captain types from Fairy to Ground because I think getting those stab Earth powers is going to be very important in many matchups. So let's take a look at Gav's draft, though. So he's got a Pawmot, which cannot use Revival Blessing. It is one of his Terra Captains, a Komala, an Aurorus, a Darmanitan, a King Gambit, which is one of his Terra Captains, a Galarian Weezing, Mega Alakazam, which is a massive threat, Hydreigon, Ditto, Trevenant, which is a Terra Captain, and Gastrodon. Frankly, I have no idea what combination of six Pokemon he's going to bring. I'm pretty sure he will not bring the Aurorus, but anything else is honestly fair game. He might not bring one of Komala or Galarian Weezing because, I mean, he's guaranteed to bring at least one because he needs some hazard removal because he knows I have the Samurott. And I'm assuming the one he brings will be the Weezing, but I know he has said that he intends to bring Kamala to way too many games, so he might just bring that anyway as a rapid spinner. But yeah, let's take a look at the team that I'm going to be bringing. So we've got a Kyurem. This week we're going physical, taking advantage of that base 170 attack stat. And we're running a tricky Gen 9 enabled set with the loaded dice, which is going to let the Icicle Spear and the Scale Shot hit a minimum of 4 times, meaning these are base 100 power stab attacks. They're going to be very hard to switch into, even without a boosting item, especially thanks to my Adamant Nature. Earth Power, because with Terrible, that'll hit the Weezing on the special side, which presumably he will not be invested in. Additionally, it can catch a King Gambit on the switch before he Terras. In terms of speed, I'm running enough speed so that at +1 from a scale shot, I'll outspeed a modest Mega Alakazam. I don't see why he would run Timid against me unless he specifically wants to outspeed this. But I don't know. I think this is the correct amount of speed. We've got Screens, Sandy Shocks, with only Volt Switch to attack and Stealth Rocks. I'm probably going to lead with this and just try and get up Stealth Rocks and Screens. That way I can bring Kyurem in and just do some major damage to his team. Either that or I bring in Samurott and I try and get up a couple spikes. I've got Protect, which is some cool tech against the Ditto. If he's Choice Scarf Ditto and he tries to come in on me, he can try and threaten me out with a Sacred Sword, but I can Protect and Scout and see if he gets greedy and tries to go for a Cecil's Edge to get his own spikes. And if he does that, I can threaten the KO back with Sacred Sword. So that's some cool tech there. Otherwise, built bulky. I want to survive as long as I can behind screens and then try and get up as many spikes as I can because I'm trying to win this game this week by cleaning up with my Unburden Normal Gem Fake Out Sneasler. Adamant Nature. I outspeed his whole team. Even things that could be Scarfed, like Scarfed Hydreigon or Darmanitan, after my Unburden boost. This is the main win con this week. He can wall me with the Weezing potentially, but the Weezing is honestly, it doesn't have great reliable recovery. So considering it's going to have to come in against things like the Samurott and the Kyurem maybe, and even the Decidueye, I think it's going to get overwhelmed and weakened down enough to the point where my Sneasler can kill it with a Shadow Claw. We also have an Assault Vest Meloetta. This is our main switch-in answer to Mega Alakazam. Additionally, it can come in pretty free against the Weezing. And it generally is bulky enough to take most any hit and can really threaten back a lot of damage with Shadow Ball and Psychic, as well as Terra Blast fighting. Serene Grace Shadow Balls have a 40% chance to lower special defense, so things like a Harvest Trevenant can't really stall me out unless maybe it uses its Terra. But I have Terra Blast fighting, so Terra's just put in a lot of weird 50-50 scenarios. Terras are going to be very important this week, I think. And then lastly, I have this really awkward set I'm not too sure about. I wasn't sure about Decidueye last week, so I'm really trying to learn how to use this thing. Culverberry, fully physically defensive Decidueye. Um, I mostly want this to exist, so if he does bring the Komala, I can switch in and block any rapid spins. Additionally, I can come in against the Gastrodon, which otherwise can be a pretty effective defensive threat against my team. Roost, Toxic Stall can do some cheeky things. U-Turn can allow me to pivot pretty effectively around his team. Spirit Shackle is a cute move that I can use here potentially to lock something and that way guarantee that he's not going to switch out. So maybe if he tries to get greedy and set up with Stealth Rocks predicting me to U-Turn or something, I can Spirit Shackle trap the Gastrodon and then Toxic it. Or I can do that against several other things. Colbur Berry is going to allow me to take a surprise hit from the from his King Gambit, or a knockoff from the Komala, or a attack from the Hydreigon, and then let me U-turn out. Its catch-all will be helpful at letting me survive one big attack. I'm very nervous about this match. I think it can really go either way. So let's challenge Gav here, see what he's got in store for us, I guess. Playing in NetDex Draft, Battle of Champions. I've got my damage calcs pulled up in case I need them. Got my sets already pre-programmed into there. Very curious to see which 6 Pokemon he'll bring. Like I said, he's got a lot of good options against me. I will be shocked if he brings the Auroras. But otherwise, like Darmanitan's a big threat to my team. Kingambit and Megalakazam are good against any team. Pawmot's surprisingly good against me. Decidueye can wall it, but again, like if he chooses to Terra it, like the thing that either of us Terra in this game could be very important. I'm bringing all 3 of my Terra captains. I don't think I'm going to Terra my Sandy Shocks, but it could be an option if I want to try and wall the Darmanitan, which not a lot on my team does. I don't really have a good option against that. I had considered bringing Corviknight as a potential answer to King Gambit with like an Iron Defense set, but the problem is if I use up all my Roosts, maybe the Ditto comes in, and it's also like, what if he crits me? And it's not very good into the, obviously, the Darmanitan. It's not great into Alakazam. It's not great into Hydreigon. It's not good into Pawmot. So it just wasn't quite doing enough, couldn't quite make it work. I didn't think it just doesn't take the hits it needs to function well as a pivot as it normally does. I'm gonna ping Gav on the Discord real quick. I told him I was recording this intro, so he might be looking at his phone or something, just chilling. Because I took a little longer than I wanted to, but I wanted to make sure. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's see what we got here. He does bring the Auroras. Wow. Okay. I mean, as I was saying, he could have brought anything. He had it's a really weird matchup. He does bring his 2 biggest threats, the King Gambit and the Megazam, the Gastrodon and the Wheezing Core. Auroras, which I have no idea what Auroras wants to do. And then a Darmanitan, which I feel like is probably Choice Scarf. So in this case, he might have an Auroras lead to try and set up Stealth Rocks. Good luck, have fun to you too, sir. Weezing's packing Defog for sure. He really doesn't have a great way to deal with my Curum. He doesn't bring the Pawmot, which is something I really expected him to bring. He notably only has the King Gambit here as his Terra Captain, so that's the only thing that can Terra. I think I still lead off with my Sandy Shocks here. A little unfortunate if he leads with the Auroras, but it is what it is. Just straight out the gate with the King Gambit. That's terrifying. Okay. So now he has to fear my Earth power, right? So he might Terra off the bat, which is fine, I guess. I think I should. Yeah, I mean, if he just wants to like really out the gate start swords dancing on me, that's terrifying. But I think I should just set up the reflect here. Okay, he just hard switches to the Gashadon. Okay, gotcha. Well, that's totally fine. Um, he might go for an attack on me. I'm quite bulky. I could get up the light screen first, but I think I just want my stealth rocks up for sure. Okay, he toxics me. I've got a pretty clean switch into the Decidueye here, but I think I can get up a light screen pretty free. Okay, he goes out into this, so he pretty much has to defog here. There's just no way he does anything else. So I can get a volt switch off here into my Meloetta. Alternatively, I could go into Curum. Because this thing doesn't take hits from Curum very well either. It's 61%. Earth Power has a chance to kill depending on if he's Black Sludge or not. Meloetta forces him out for sure, but he could just go right back out into that King Gambit. I don't think terroring, like, I think I'm okay with going Meloetta here because I don't mind so much if I need to terror my Meloetta to beat that King Gambit. Because he has to fear my Psychic here, so I think I can click U-turn pretty free. He may be bold and click something else, but okay, yeah, he goes back onto the Gastrodon. Against this thing. So I could go Curum. He may fear the substitute at that point, at which point he might just start firing off attacks. I don't know if that's actually going to accomplish much. He'll definitely fear the Decidueye and switch out. So I go to Decidueye here. He might go out into the King Gambit again. He may want to get up his own Stealth Rocks. I think I'm going to risk the U-turn again here. Okay, yep, he does go out into the Darmanitan. I get my U-turn off here, so let's see. So I might take this opportunity to go back out to my Sandy Shocks and start setting up rocks again. But if he's Choice Scarf, he just kills me, potentially. It's a roll. That's if he clicks Flare Blitz, though. So Earthquake can't kill me. I mean, it'll kill me after Poison. Did Weezing not take rocks damage? Okay, it looked like Weezings didn't take the rocks damage, so he's actually heavy-duty boots. Which means he can't really take much more. I could go out into the Samurott, but he'll just click U-turn at that point. Yeah, Starmanitan's a big threat in my team. I really wanted to have the Reflect up before this thing got out. Let's see. Okay, let's check Samurott real quick. So if I go into Samurott, he goes out into that Weezing. My Aqua Cutter is not doing a lot, but if I Ceaseless Edge, I force another defog potentially. Oh yeah, because he's got the neutralizing gas too, which means he's going to neutralize my sharpness. So I'll do even less damage. Yeah, so I go out into the Samurott. He probably just clicks U-turn. But I can protect and scout. I don't think he fears the Aqua Jet enough. I think I just Ceaseless Edge though. Yeah, he does U-turn, but I take that pretty well. A little bit more chip on that Weezing is pretty big. Goes out into this thing. So like honestly, I'm pretty good to just click Ceaseless Edge again against him, honestly. And then maybe make a switch, predicting the Weezing. Because the Weezing's really going to want to come in if I get off another one of these. Yeah, so at this point, I really think he wants to go into that Weezing. So I could go out into my Meloetta to threaten that. Let's see, what kind of bulky is this Gastrodon? It looks like he's built especially defensive, and those were two mid to low. I mean, he might have a little bit of physical defense investment because those are kind of low rolls. But he looks like he's mostly especially defensive, which means my Meloetta probably can't do too much against him. Yeah, I'm not Psyshock. I switched to Psychic. Yeah, so I'm not doing a lot to him. So, because I don't want to be in like a bad position. If I go out into my Meloetta and he just wants to sit here. So if I go out into Kyurem, I at least threaten the Tuco if he stays in. He scalds. Okay, no burn. That's good. That would have been brutal if he got the burn right there. Now, Icicle Spear is going to do a lot to him, right? Because he's not physically defensive. So, like, this thing's, like, basically dead if he chooses to take this. But he would neutralize my Kyurem, which, I mean, is pretty big if he gets a skull. He'd have to get a 30% skull burn, though, so. Okay, goes Darm. I mean, this is still going to do a lot because I'm loaded dice. Okay, kills. Wow. Yeah, that's brutal. Gosh, this Kyurem is so strong. Yeah, that was resistant. Okay, he goes out into this thing. So, like, I can Earth Power him. Ugh, gosh, I hate these King Gambit mind games. So alternatively, I can go out into Samurott. Yeah, because he's not even that scared of my Earth power. So I mean, I don't know why he doesn't have any other Terra. Like, I mean, he might be scared if I click Icicle Spear predicting his Terra. Hmm. Yeah, this is a very tricky position. Because if I don't have Terra, that means Meloetta's walled by this thing. But if it yeah, because so if I go for the Terra here, he can't kill me. I Icicle Spear predicting his Terra. Like I think he's probably Terra Fairy here. I live and he hit, then I can like roost. Because if he's Life Orb +2, yeah, he can kill me if he like goes Life Orb into Sucker Punch. If he's Life Orb, I mean, I think the correct play here is to Terra and Icicle Spear because I think he himself is going to Terra. I don't know. I mean, it's so tricky whether or not he Terras here because if he Terras, he's risking me predicting and going Icicle Spear, which will do a lot of damage. But if he also knows I could have the Earth Power and be Terra Ground Earth Power, and that would also do a lot of damage. Okay, he does Terra. We made the right call. And he goes for the Terra Blast. He's got leftovers. Okay. So Sucker Punch is doing 40.6 maximum, and I'm at 47%. He might just sucker for damage here, so I could really get him with the Roost. He could Swords Dance predicting there. I think Roost is pretty good here. Yeah, Kyurem is quite the house. Okay, now he can hit me with a super effective Scald here, so this was good going out into this. If I Icicle Speared, this would have been a sack, but I threw a little bit. I mean, how much does Icicle Spear do to you again? Because you're mostly specially defensive. So roll to kill. Well, if I get 5 hits, it kills. I have Terra, though. You're Scald. I mean, it's not like you kill me with Scald, so it's really only bad if you get the burn. And if I punch through this, that's like one less thing that my Sneasler has to worry about later. And Sneasler's already looking very good right now. Okay, he goes out into this. I truly have no idea what Aurora's is gonna do. Like literally no idea. Okay, it's surprisingly bulky. My Earth power is not gonna kill. I mean, Blizzard's gonna destroy me, so I think this thing forces me out. He's got Refrigerate. I mean, he's a special attacker, right? So I can go out into my Meloetta here against this thing. He could have Freeze Dry for my Samurai, how fast are you? He's not very fast at all. Could go into Samurai here. I feel like that just kind of welcomes in the wheezing. And these spikes, I mean, the spikes aren't doing a lot for me at this point, right? Because that thing's already low. Samurai has already taken some damage. He's not really doing much else, so like checking this thing's kind of nice. And if I can save my Meloetta healthy for the Alakazam, I think I go Samurai. Rock Polish. Oh, that's terrifying. Okay. Um, if he's got Freeze Dry, he may be able to kill me here. I'm just gonna click the Sacred Sword and hope. Meteor Beam. Oh my god. That was some heat. Okay. Okay. I think he's forcing me to blow my Sneasler here, which is a little unfortunate. I mean, Sneasler might be able to do it from here. It's like not impossible. The problem is the Weezing's got the boots. But yeah, I have to blow my Unburden here, unfortunately. Because I need to outspeed this demon. Jeez. He really got me with this set. Like I had no idea what this thing was gonna do, and this thing just wrecked me. Okay. And I was bulky on Samurai too. I heavily underestimated this thing. Okay. So we've got our Unburden now, which means we're definitely faster than this thing. He can preserve it, which is scary, and go out into the wheezing. But yeah, this thing's actually a major threat now. But I think I just have to close combat. Like I don't think I have a choice. Like I think he just goes the wheezing. Yeah. Oh no, he goes Gambit. Does this kill? Yeah, that kills. Okay, he sacks the Gambit, which is fine. He can go out into the wheezing. So like the thing is, without my Unburden, Sneasler doesn't do a whole lot. And Dire Claw has a 50% chance to status this thing. And like yeah, I mean it's got a chance to 2-go. I mean I think Sneasler isn't doing anything at this point, like if it isn't Unburdened. So I think I just Dire Claw and pray. We get the para, and he gets the defog off. And I think we continue to Dire Claw and pray. Okay, that's down. I mean, it's 120. This is 140. So our Shadow Claw is a little stronger against this thing. I mean, I think you die, right? This thing just drops to a Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw has a chance to kill. Dire Claw has no chance to kill, but has the 50-50. This is a 68.8% chance to kill. It's got a high crit ratio. Yeah, we just click Shadow Claw here. Okay, we get the crit. It was in our favor because it was 68.8 without the crit. Yeah, it was 68.8% chance to kill without the crit, and we're a high crit ratio move, so that's like 14%. So it's like 75-ish% chance to kill right there. And if we don't kill, I can go out into the Curum, which takes any one hit, in theory, and then outspeeds and kills the Aurorus. But it looks like we're going to get our Sneasler cleanup. And that game went pretty well for us. Curum Black just An absolute menace. I mean, that kill against the Darmanitan was ridiculous. Like, yeah, this thing is absurd. It probably shouldn't be legal, at least not as a Terra Captain. We did ban Dragon Dance on it, which, I mean, for sure mattered. But, gosh, yeah, that was a crazy game. I mean, he really got me with the Auroras. That was crazy. Good game to Gavin. Like, he had some crazy sets. Um, really got me with that Auroras. Like I can't stop thinking about that. That was the one thing I didn't expect him to bring, and he almost really got me with it. He made me use this, and thanks to some uh, a fortunate roll on the Wheezing and on the Alakazam, he was able to pull it out with the Sneasler. But good game to Gavin. Next week we are playing against Luna and Jean, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you for watching.